Also on the agenda, President Obama will unveil his long-awaited budget tomorrow. It's already seen some pushback from liberal lawmakers on the Hill, including Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who's part of a group that delivered boxes of petitions to the White House today opposing proposed cuts to Social Security.
Remember that when Barack Obama was running for president in 2008, he said that he would not cut Social Security. Yes. We want the president to remember what he said and not go back on his word.
The president's proposal adopts a new way of calculating Social Security cost of living increases known as change CPI. The budget is also expected to identify about $400 billion in Medicare cuts. Joining me now, John Nichols of The Nation. He's been writing about this. John, thank you for joining me. We know, at least the theory is that the president put this issue of Social Security, change CPI on the table in an attempt to corner Republicans who are unwilling to compromise on tax revenue, who are unwilling to focus on closing loopholes. Now you have this issue of progressives who are quite unhappy with the president. How will he address, or how do we expect him to address this tomorrow?
Well, it puts him in a difficult position. The folks who went to the White House today brought 2.3 million signatures gathered from around the country, and they had a number of members of Congress there. It wasn't just Senator Sanders. It was 3 members of the House, including Mark Pocan from Wisconsin and Rick Nolan from Minnesota. And the interesting thing about it is that they were making a last-ditch effort to convince the president to drop the change CPI adjustment to cost of living increases out of the budget. If he keeps it in, as I suspect he will, I anticipate he's going to get an awfully lot of pressure, but it won't just be the president. There's going to be a tremendous amount of pressure on Democratic members of Congress to break with the president on this issue.
Absolutely. We had, for example, Congresswoman Maxine Waters on with us not terribly long ago, and she insisted there was no wiggle room there. She feels that the poorest in this country, or those who struggle the most, have suffered already, and that there should be a focus on closing loopholes for the wealthiest. So she, and to your point, it's not just Bernie Sanders and others, have pledged, if you will, to go against the president here.
There's no doubt of that. And 107 members of the House have signed a letter urging the president not to do this. Roughly 30 members have signed another letter saying they will absolutely break with the president on this issue. And these are not merely, folks on, if you will, the fringe or anything like that. Many of the people signing these letters are committee ranking members, very prominent Democrats.
But the president
and so I think the president
this.
has to hear this.
He anticipated this. This is not a big revelation that this will be part of the budget. I don't know the exact date, John, but when he was on Meet the Press, he said, listen, tough decisions have to be made here, including decisions that those within his own party would not like. Beyond, I guess, the disclaimer there, what do we expect from the White House, from the president, in if you can't stop the bleeding or can't stop the pain, you can at least, I guess, put a bandage on it for those who are furious with him over this?
Well, I think this puts the president in a tough position, but an interesting one. He has always sought the position of arbiter, somebody who tries to unite different sides. In this case, he's clearly going to have Republicans saying that they absolutely won't work with him. Now he's also going to have a lot of progressives and many Democrats, I think many mainstream Democrats, saying they refuse to go along. He is going to have to rise to this moment, but I can tell you that I suspect the White House is a little bit surprised by the energy and the speed with which the negative response has come from the progressive community.
Wow. All right, John, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it. We'll talk, of course, more about the president's budget tomorrow.